Texas gets back in the saddle with Kosi Okpala committing to the Texas Longhorns. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe down below, and let's get into it. So Texas, I believe, has gone 0 of 7 or 0 of 8 on the last couple recruitments. Chase Calicut, Georgia. James Johnson, Georgia. They whooped us. Malachi Lee, Michigan, so on and so forth. We finally get back in the saddle with four-star linebacker Kosi Okpala committing to the Texas Longhorns. He chooses Texas over Baylor, Miami, and Penn State. So Texas beat some pretty high-profile teams in here, and then also Baylor. No offense, Baylor, but I don't think you belong in the same category as Penn State and Miami. But this is a very good football player, guys, and a very exciting guy to get on the 40 acres. 6'2", 230 pounds with a very long wingspan. Someone that I believe can grow even more, probably be 6'3", 6'4", 225, 235 pounds. Somewhere in between there is probably his playing weight. He is the number 281 national player according to 247 Composite, like we always use on this channel. He is from Houston, Texas, so an in-state guy, and that's been a theme. We've heard maybe Texas starts going more in-state because guess what? The out-of-state guys seem to be going to their home base. And, hey, it works here. Great speed and closing ability from this guy. He is a pretty athletic linebacker. I believe he ran like 11.600 meter. And if he can continue to track, I bet that gets down to 11.2 or 11.3. So a pretty athletic guy. You can see as soon as he identifies a play, he's able to get there pretty quickly. As soon as he locates the ball carrier, he gets there pretty quickly. Pretty good instincts as well. I think he needs to add weight. Like I said, I think 235, maybe even 240 if he does get up to 6'4", but I could see him slimming down even to 225. It all depends on where he plays here, and I think that's the question for this Texas staff. Does he come off the edge primarily? Does he play inside? He is the first linebacker commit in this class. So I do think if he does play early, it would be inside. I think he's a little bit of both, though. We're going to see Brad Spence and Trey Moore line up at the edge and play linebacker. I think this guy's probably going to do something similar. I think he has that type of skill set. I think he has that type of athleticism. I also think that's what the staff wants. We talk about what the staff wants on this channel of the versatility they want on both sides of the ball, but especially on defense. I think that this guy fits that. So I think this guy is going to be very good for the University of Texas. He's also better moving downhill, which honestly works pretty well in this scheme. You know, everyone, they kind of eat up space, the linemen do, and the linebackers flow downhill to make the play. He's very good at that. Now, if you're asking him to go sideline to sideline, he's not great at that right now. Is that something he can get better at in the future? I do think that's something he can improve on. He can get better at with Johnny Nansen. They're at the linebacker coach, or Leon Clark can work with him off the edge. But going downhill, I will say, sounds like a pretty good edge player. But again, they also do that at the linebacker position here at Texas. But overall, I think this guy's a productive player. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to fit right in well with this Texas defense. And it's great to get a win on the board. Again, Texas has gone either 0 of 7 or 0 of 8 on these commitments, and it's kind of felt bad. But I personally never worried. I know I've read some comments. You guys have worried. Put it to rest. You will be fine. Texas is going to do well on the recruiting trail. We saw this last year. They're actually ahead of the pace of where they were last year, and they ended up with the number 1 class last year. I'm not going to say we're going to end up with the number 1 class, but Sarkis ended up with a top 5 class every year he's been here. So I think we're going to end up with a top 5 class. His junior stats, guys, 55 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. He also had 21 hurries, so very good. Then when we talk about versatility, he played running back in high school. So you see a little positional versatility with the edge or inside linebacker. You see on the other side of the ball versatility. He also played running back in high school. So overall, really good athlete with production equals a good football player for the University of Texas. Someone I think probably plays special teams mostly his first year and then gets on the field a decent amount of second year because, hey, Ty Anthony Smith did. I do think Ty Anthony Smith is a little bit better than this guy, but I think they're in the same ballpark. I really believe that. So I think this guy plays in year 2 for Texas. Ty Anthony Smith, I think, is going to play a lot this year in his year 2 for Texas. That moves Texas to 16 commits now, pushes them closer to the top 10 before this commitment. They were number 14. They're probably going to be in the 12 range now. I think they probably jump up maybe to 12 or 13. And there's more coming down the pipeline with Kosi on board. Like I said, 16 commitments. Tomorrow, guys, is a big day for the Texas Longhorns. Felix Ojo and also John Turntine are going to commit. We'll see what happens. John Turntine, Michigan, Texas, most likely. Stanford's also thrown in there. Felix Ojo seems like it's Ohio State or Texas. Some rumblings of Texas Tech throwing their weight around, trying to get in that mix. They have a lot of money to play with there ever since that oil baron has sold his business. Made, I think, like $3 billion. So he's been throwing a lot of money in their athletics. It'll be interesting if this is a leverage play by Felix Ojo or if Texas Tech really does have a shot here. I do think both of these guys end up with Texas. And guys, if they both end up with Texas, we are talking about a scenario in which Texas probably has the best combination of offensive linemen and defensive linemen committed to the University of Texas in the 2026 class. You go through it with Corey Wells, Dylan Berryman, guys of that nature, Max Wright, Nicholas Robertson on the offensive side of the ball. Really good football players, Vodney Cleveland on the defensive side of the ball. And then you add these two, we're talking about upper echelon recruiting, at worst, a top 3 class between the defensive and offensive line. Sark has destroyed the trenches during this cycle, and I think they've really concentrated on. We've talked about that on the live show every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We believe this was going to be a heavy defensive line class, heavy offensive line class because of the turnover that you're going to see after this year at both of those positions. You only have Alex January right now that was recruited to the roster on the defensive side of the ball that's going to play this year. The rest have been transfers, and the other ones are freshmen. On the offensive line, you're going to lose a lot of guys, whether that's going to be some guys hopping in the transfer portal or guys going to the NFL draft. Because a lot of those guys come from that heavy 2022 class from the offensive line. So it was time to recycle there and get some more guys in. That's what they're going to do. John Turntine's going to end up at Texas. I'm confident in saying that right now. I do not know about Felix Ojo. I'm saying 70% right now. And I said this a week ago. I said I'm more confident in John Turntine ending up at Texas. I still feel that way. So Texas gets a win here with Kosi Okpala. We really appreciate you guys sticking around. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. It really helps out our channel. Also, guys, join us every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time live, breaking it down for you. Recruiting updates, previewing games, whatever it may be. The season is fast approaching. We will be here with post-game shows here as well. Don't forget, that's what we bring to you at the Voice of College Football. As always, guys, we really appreciate you tuning in. And as always, hook 'em.